And when I realized I couldn't do that anymore, dude, I almost started crying. I was like, what the f***? I'm way too young to reach this point already. That's how bad it got. Vigorous Steve here with an update on my failed megadosing melatonin experiment. I've alluded to this experiment on the latest BioBros episode, which is on Derek's channel, and I believe that Leo posted a clip of this melatonin discussion on his channel. I discontinued 30 milligrams melatonin before bed daily about 2 weeks ago. And for the last couple of days, I can say that I finally feel like myself again. So this is a little bit of a warning for the guys who are thinking about megadosing melatonin for all the potential health benefits that are associated with higher dosages of melatonin. Before we get into it, please like the video, leave a comment for the algorithm, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Now, the reason why I wanted to try megadosing melatonin is because, first of all, I ran 3 milligrams to 6 milligrams melatonin pretty much year-round because I always got a good response from that. I didn't build up a tolerance. I could discontinue 3 milligrams, 6 milligrams melatonin, right, which I would normally take around 9 o'clock in the evening. I could discontinue that and not notice any adverse effects, not be able to fall asleep the days afterwards, like I built up some sort of tolerance and downregulated my natural melatonin secretion. But some people do experience withdrawal after discontinuing daily melatonin use. Luckily, that's not something I suffer from. So when I stopped 30 milligrams of melatonin before bed 2 weeks ago, I could still sleep the next day and every other day afterwards. Sleep is usually not really an issue for me because I work a lot, sometimes until 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the evening. And that was one of the reasons why I took 3 to 6 milligrams of melatonin before bed, usually around 9 o'clock, to help me fall asleep faster because I'm literally going from the desk to the bedroom. And right, you need a little bit of incentive to fall asleep so I can get at least 7 hours, maybe fingers crossed 8 hours in before the next working day starts. So that was the main reason why I took melatonin year-round, pretty much, right, to unwind from work on a day-to-day basis. And then after doing a lot of research on how melatonin is a very effective and lipophilic antioxidant, maybe twice as effective as vitamin E, also being a lipophilic antioxidant, promoting antioxidants and free radical scavenger activity in the brain. And not only does melatonin do that, most of its metabolites act as antioxidants as well. So melatonin is an antioxidant in the brain, and then its metabolite is an antioxidant again, and an antioxidant again, etc., etc., etc. So you get a very potent antioxidant effect in the brain. And the reason why I want to increase my melatonin dose over time, part of that from the Reddit reports and talking to some clients of mine who've increased their melatonin dose up to 50 milligrams before bed daily, a very high dose that I was not able to reach because I got so lethargic during the day to the point I wasn't feeling like myself anymore and started getting highly unproductive because of it, is because I want to improve my productivity. So the opposite effect happens. By megadosing melatonin and increasing the dose over time, I lost productivity, where what I wanted out of this experiment is an improved cognition, improved productivity, improved memory formation, because overall this antioxidant effect in the brain should improve its function, especially in combination with cerebrolysine or the Semax and Solanke experiments that I ran in the past, or trialing dihexa, right? The last thing on my to-do list is basically improving my overall cognitive performance and optimize my business from every angle possible and make sure that all the time that I spent working is very, very effective. So this melatonin experiment was part of that. Unfortunately, like I mentioned before, it severely reduced my productivity to the point I could barely get videos out of the door. Luckily, I was still able to do consultations, but guys, I was so lethargic. I was so tired. So on paper, melatonin metabolizes in a couple hours, and then technically you shouldn't feel groggy next day. And because I was increasing the dose so steadily, I went from 3 milligrams with occasional 6 milligram melatonin use to 6 milligrams daily for about 2 weeks, then 10 milligrams melatonin before bed for about 2 weeks, then 20, about a week or two, and then 30 milligrams for a month. And I felt fine for the first 2 weeks. And then the last 2 weeks of this 30 milligrams melatonin experiment, I just felt more tired and tired and tired. And it was so gradual that I looked at my log and I couldn't pinpoint it because I took the ashwagandha root extract out a couple of weeks ago. So I thought initially that it was ashwagandha roots extract withdrawal, maybe by altering my cortisol levels throughout the day, or maybe changing my circadian rhythm to a certain extent, or altering my GABAergic system by taking the ashwagandha root extract away. So I really thought that was the main cause of me feeling so, I don't know, fatigued and lethargic and old. It was so bad, guys. I did legs maybe 2 weeks ago, and midway through my leg workout, I realized that I can't even touch 75% of the weights. In every set that I perform, I feel dead. I felt dead inside. I felt old. I almost started crying. Because the last thing you want is that feeling where you know you have to back off because your physique is really not up to par for this kind of intensity anymore. And I'm not trying to aim for this super high intensity, but I should be able to do particular workouts and particular exercises, particular sets. And when I realized I couldn't do that anymore, dude, I almost started crying. I was like, what the fuck? I'm way too young to reach this point already. That's how bad it got. That's how tired and lethargic and dead I felt from this mega dosing melatonin experiment. So I frantically started looking through my logs, all the things that I changed. I did another full blood work panel, which all came back normal. I had expected where it is for the performance enhancing drugs that I'm running. The only thing that was really off, and that can be an effect of melatonin, a positive effect, was my growth hormone, which doubled from around 4 or 5 nanograms per milliliter to 11.5 nanograms per milliliter. Now, my IGF-1 levels didn't really change over this period, so I didn't see a noticeable improvement there. But out of all of my blood work results, that was the only thing of note that's measurably changed. So I would say that's a good effect of this melatonin. But having a serum concentration of growth hormone of around 11.5 nanograms per milliliter is half of what you'll get from a 2-unit exogenous growth hormone administration, which will make you feel a tenth of the lethargy that I felt on this 30 milligrams of melatonin before bed every day. I felt like, I remember running that experiment of 8 IU's growth hormone, and then I felt dead inside also. Right? And my insulin sensitivity was fine. It was not like I'm losing insulin sensitivity because this growth hormone dose is so high or getting into a full-blown state of insulin resistance. I discontinued because I just felt horribly lethargic, to the point doing daily chores like laundry or dishes is just overly exhausting, right? That's how I felt on 8 units of growth hormone. And I felt pretty much the same on 30 milligrams melatonin during this experiment. And again, it creeped up on me. It was very, very gradual, very, very slowly. I took a whole week off from the gym. I didn't fast during this time because I really wanted to see if my energy levels would come back after taking a week off, even though I was not at the point of doing a deload. Usually it comes around week 7 or 6, but I was at week 5, right? I was still strong in the gym. I didn't lose any strength. I just felt like I needed to deload because this 30 milligrams of melatonin made me feel like ass, literally. So I took a week off, didn't do a fast because I really wanted to recover from the state. Still kept using the 30 milligrams of melatonin because I didn't really pinpoint what the issue was at that time, right? Usually when you feel lethargic and tired and moody and all the things you don't want to feel like, it's a bit of a troubleshooting. So you go through your log. Maybe it's the ashwagandha root extract. Maybe I'm overtrained. I'm not taking any drugs that I should be feeling this tired from, or besides the melatonin, which I figured out later. So you go through the list of possible scenarios and possible adjustments that you need to make. And every adjustment that I make until I removed the melatonin from the protocol didn't seem to work. It just got worse and worse and worse. Because I literally started to feel like an old man. And I even wrote it down on my to-do list of all the YouTube videos that I wanted to produce over the next couple of weeks. I'm starting to feel old. I'm throwing in the towel. That was the title. And I was very close to making that video until I figured out that it was the melatonin causing all of these issues. And it still took me a couple days to really get over this feeling of lethargy. Maybe 4 days, 5 days after discontinuing the melatonin, I could still sleep normally. Maybe some people would not experience that. They would need to taper off, going from 30 milligrams to 20 to 10, and then maybe down to 3 milligrams melatonin before bed, so they don't get these withdrawal symptoms. Luckily for me, I can just sleep as normally. But it took a couple days before I had my energy levels back. So luckily they are back now. And now I feel like making videos on a daily basis again and going to the gym and recording workouts and doing all the crazy stuff that I was doing in the past for the sake of bodybuilding, right? Not the insane dosages. We're foregoing the insane dosages, guys. But the insane training that I highly enjoy, yeah, man, that's full steam ahead. And luckily the cerebral lysin and that Semax experiment in the past is mitigating most of the brain fog that all these crazy workouts seem to potentiate otherwise. So this is a little bit of a fair warning for the guys who are thinking about running such an experiment. Again, I don't hear this from everybody. This is something that happened to me uniquely. I went through Reddit and talked with a couple of people that experienced something similar, but it doesn't happen for everybody because I do know guys that run 50 milligrams, 30 milligrams, 80 milligrams of melatonin before bed and get none of this. They're happy, they're energetic, they don't feel lethargic, they don't feel like an old man like I did, because it really depends on individual response on how this melatonin and all of its metabolites affect you for the days afterwards of megadosing. So keep that in mind, guys. I might do this occasionally if I feel the need to really fall asleep fast, but for now, the melatonin is out. I'll leave it at that. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're looking for the most comprehensive guides to bodybuilding pharmacologies, the ebooks are on my website, vigoroussteve.com/shop. Personalized advice always available through consultations. You can find the rates in the consultation section. Have a look at my clips channel, Vigorous to the Max, with all of my crazy working sets that I do pretty much on a daily basis. I'll upload as many sets that are inspiring or motivating or just fun to look at. I'll upload as many sets there for your guys' enjoyment. Maybe you get inspired to try a particular workout or exercise or use a particular weight. Right? I like to max out most of the equipment wherever possible because it's fun, right? Pad and shoulder, another machine maxed out with all of the weights that I could fit on it. Have a look at that channel. Subscribe if you'd like. Vigorous to the Max, link down below in the description section. Follow me on Instagram while you're at it, @VigorSteve, and on TikTok, @VigorSteve as well. Have a look at my Linktree with all of the sponsors and affiliates that I'm associated with, companies that I believe in and have discount codes for. So if you're looking for over-the-counter supplement XYZ, look no further than my Linktree. There's probably a link for it with a discount code. Now you can save yourself some money in the process. Vigorous crew, you guys know what to do. A front double bicep for you guys. Thank God all of the melatonin is metabolized out of this body. Maybe I got some gray hairs in the process, but we'll just write it off as experience, right? Not all the experiments turn out to be positive experiments, and we only keep those experiments and move it to our protocol and our knowledge base if those experiments turn out positive. Have a look at some of these related videos so you can get educated by yours truly. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.